The withdrawal bill was brought to Parliament as an urgent piece of legislation, and, as the Speaker observed, it has the longest title seen in Parliament since 1972, taking him over a minute to read out.
A bill for an act to provide for the repeal of the European Community, to provide for the continuation and validity of any administrative and for connected purposes be read a first time.
The bill does three things. Firstly, it repeals the European Communities Act, an ordinance which had been voted on in 1972 by a House of Assembly which at the time contained Sergio Bolzano and Adolfo Canepa. Secondly, the bill converts all European laws into Gibraltar laws. And finally, it gives ministers powers to amend these laws and create new ones. Joseph Garcia, who brought the bill to the House, said he did so with mixed feelings, as the EU had shaped Gibraltar as we know it today. He said despite the fact that the European Commission had let Gibraltar down over the years, he was still of the view that the rock was better off in the Union.
In the wider scheme of things, it was all going in the right direction. And then, Mr. Speaker, 17 million voters in the United Kingdom decided that their future and ours lay outside the European Union.
But the leader of the opposition said the GSD would be voting against the bill. Elliot Phillips said his MPs were supportive of the principal functions of the bill, but could not vote in favour of anything which endorses the Gibraltar Protocol or the Memorandums of Understanding. He said these were bad for Gibraltar and had allowed Spain to have a say in our affairs without any benefits in return. He added that the Chief Minister's cheerleading for the Prime Minister had plunged Gibraltar into Westminster controversy, lamenting that the unnecessary references to the withdrawal agreement would now force them to vote against the whole bill. Marilyn Hassan Naon, however, said she would be supporting the bill, saying it was more important to present a united front. She said everyone in Gibraltar was a hardliner on the sovereignty question, and there was no need to try and score points over it. The Chief Minister said the reasons for the opposition voting against the bill showed they had failed to understand what the withdrawal agreement does, arguing that Article 50 requires you to negotiate departure from the EU before negotiating a future agreement. And he said if supporting an agreement that works for Gibraltar was cheerleading, he would continue to be a cheerleader of anyone who supports Gibraltar, which is what the opposition should be doing. And on the question of granting Spain control over our affairs, he said the MOUs were reciprocal. So if the GSD's argument was right, then Gibraltar was gaining control over Spain's affairs. The bill was passed by majority.